My experiences have made me believe that we are in a military kind of thing going on with, in fact, other life forms, which are higher life forms, which are unseen, as you talked about, and I've talked about too, the reptile alien presence. What are we talking about, reptile alien presence? I don't know exactly what all of this means, but I know it's there. I've heard way too much not to know that there is a reptile alien presence on the earth.
Right.
Where did they come from? How really powerful are they? How long have they been around? And what is their relationship to us? How much can they do to us and manipulate us? And when I had those two experiences, those experiences told me that there's some kind of a real dangerous military action going on.
Well, I think, when you're looking at a massive insider like George Lucas, when he produces like the Star Wars movies, that's the level you're talking about. That sort of stuff is going on. That's not taking place in a galaxy far, far away. That's much closer to home, and that's the level you're talking about. And I agree with you.
The reptilians pretended to be Pleiadians talking to you.
Oh, all the time.
But never humans.
No. Oh, no. They think human. They look down on humans. They think they're just retarded cattle. But they do. They hate the Pleiadians, but they have amazing respect for the Pleiadians.
Did you? How did you begin to hear directly from the Pleiadians?
I hit the record button in my software in my SoundForge software. I was always experimenting. I hit record, and I didn't have a recorder, nothing going in. So I let it run for a minute, and there was just this flat line. There were no wave patterns. So I pumped it up, and it was shh, a lot of white noise, and I started to hear these people saying, "We're the Pleiadians, we're trying to talk to you." And then I was like, I reversed it right away, because I didn't want to be jerked around again, and they said the same thing. And they said, "We're trying to help the people there on Earth, we're trying to save their lives." And I had no idea what they were talking about. They said a lot of things. I'd say about half of which I could hear, because it was very, very soft. But they talked to me about how they tried to tell me about these reptilian aliens, that they were very vicious. They told me a lot of different things that over the period, it was about a 2-week period that I could hear them. After that, they told me that they said we lost the internet, which meant they lost their ability to communicate on my computer. Ever since then, I still get messages, but it's always in a reversal with somebody else speaking. It's not the direct conversations that I had for a while.
And why is it that you suspect that the Reptilians have such easy access and the Pleiadians have such a difficult time?
They own this world inside of their net. We're in a lockdown. It's a force field.
And how about yourself? Do you feel kinship with the Pleiadians, or?
Yes. I wouldn't have. I mean, I never was into, I'm special, I'm Pleiadian. I'd heard a lot of that on the TV show we had done, and I was like, get a life. But back when the Reptilians first started showing up, they kept calling me the Pleiadian, and I kept hearing it over and over again, and it was coming up all the time. And then I heard from the Pleiadians for a short time. They were able to talk to me, and then I knew it was true. And I would say there are lots of Pleiadians here. There are lots. If I would say anybody who would be interested enough to watch a program or to something like this project probably is not from here, and probably Pleiadian.
On this earth right now, dark forces that are from somewhere else, and there are good forces here from somewhere else, and that they are playing out some kind of a war, as we've been discussing, some kind of a control factor is being at war with some kind of a good force that's trying to save mankind during this transition.
And you're from somewhere else as well. You gave us 2 hours of video to testimony.
Well, I mean, I just
to
said
that.
that. Yeah, I just said that.
And I think we're all probably from somewhere else. Most of the people watching this video are probably from somewhere else. The pawns in the world are the people who you have sometimes made reference to who don't have a clue about what's going on. But there are many who are realizing actually that they too are also from somewhere else, metaphorically or literally. And they're the cavalry that we've been waiting for. We're all here. The cavalry are already here. We've just got to wake up.
September of 1991, the Space Shuttle Discovery captured an unidentified object on film. What you're seeing now is actual footage shot by NASA cameras from that shuttle mission. Watch the top of your screen. Note the object that moves from right to left. Two mysterious flashes, and it makes an immediate 135-degree turn and accelerates. This is followed by a strange streak of light, which seems to narrowly miss the unknown object. This dramatic footage has been in dispute since it was shot.
I studied it extensively over maybe a 2-year period at least.
University of Nebraska physicist Jack Kasher worked for nearly 10 years in the research and development of a Star Wars defense system for the upper atmosphere. His quantitative analysis of the NASA footage concludes that the UFO cannot be explained as a natural phenomenon.
It's clearly above the atmosphere and air glow of the Earth. It maneuvers, it changes direction, it accelerates, and so the only thing really left is spacecraft.
Others think this object is simply a small ice particle floating a few feet from the shuttle. Ice particles are a common waste product of the numerous shuttles that have orbited Earth. But Kasher is convinced NASA has recorded strong evidence of a large, intelligently controlled alien space vehicle.
We told you about a possible missile, rocket, or maybe airplane that was seen off the coast of California on Monday. Today, there still aren't many answers as to what it actually was, but one woman says she has some answers. You'd be surprised to find out where she's getting her information from. Colleen Thomas is a home health administrator turned physicist who specializes in the science of creation. And she's the mother of a race of good aliens here on Earth called Pleiadians. She says she knows exactly what happened with that missile. And she joins me now from Roseville, California. Colleen, thanks so much for joining me. First of all, tell me what you know about what happened with that supposed missile.
It was I got in my ear, as it were, as I was sleeping, that it was a missile fire, President Obama trying to start a war with Iran. The Pleiadians downed the missile harmlessly at sea, and then last night from San Diego, our government fired another ICBM at the Pleiadians this time. But the Pleiadians ships are able to change density and do all kinds of things that these guys on this planet have never imagined. And a rocket could pass right through them and not harm them. And plus, they can outrun it too if they wanted to just get out of the way. But it's really kind of silly to think that we can take on a race that's been around for many, many, many millions of eons longer than the reptilians.
They transport bodies, body parts, and astral humans to Mars and to Orion, and they traffic in these. It's a big, big commerce. We are their whole life. Orion, Mars, and this, which are their two main bases of operation. They come from Orion. Mars they own. They have huge detention centers and huge meat lockers. Most of the people who die are taken to Mars and they have hanging pens where they then kill them again astrally in these hanging pens. I think they probably are raping people while they're getting ready to be hanged, because that is tremendous fear, and they ingest that energy. They will torture little children in front of their parents so that they can get that energy. I mean, there's no depths that this race will not stoop to.
And really briefly, Colleen, some people might not know exactly who the Pleiadians were, so why would President Obama want to fire an ICBM at the Pleiadians?
Because they're here to rescue the human beings who are being enslaved on this planet and forced into a paradigm of a super oligarchy that favors the Bilderberg Group and the Illuminati and is completely and utterly without any conscience towards the human beings whatsoever. They poison us deliberately in order for us to have to buy pharmaceuticals so that they can string our miserable little lives along on pharmaceuticals for the rest of our aging days. There's no need for us to be in the kind of physical condition that we are in. But they put chemtrails, in collusion with BP, British Petroleum, they put chemicals in jet fuel, and those chemicals end up getting sprayed in these minute particulates that rain down on our food, on our crops, and in our water. There's lithium in those chemtrails. There's also fluoride and a lot of other heavy metals that are dispersed in the air as chaff, so that the American government can talk to one another militarily without being listened in upon by other foreign countries. They know this stuff is toxic for us, but there's money in toxifying us. And so they work in collusion with the pharmaceutical companies with these backdoor deals, changing the laws and making everything favorable for these guys, but not favorable for the humans whatsoever. Humans are just commerce to these people, and they're also meat to these people. They not only kill and eat us, they sell our dead bodies on a meat market of their own kind that goes passing by here every 50 years, and I got that straight from a CIA agent.